Hey everybody, it's David Oak on Farm. Been working on the coop the last 2 weeks, and I want to show you guys what I've been up to since the last video. So come and check it out. The lower parts of my ridges and all my lower rafters are now in there with a couple of nails each. Everything's still a little bit loose. I'm going to get everything totally straight before I nail it all down, but it's basically time to start putting on the upper ridge. Today I got the first half done. Let me see if I can get a good view from in here. The upper part. So got all my upper rafters on in this rear half of the coop. And now I'm starting to get on the last half. And then it's plywood time, folks. Longer today. You can see I got 3 pieces of siding up over there. We'll get back to that in a minute. But on each end, I put a nice 2-foot square hole to get some hatches. This one's going to be for storage. I have plywood above. This is going to be a storage area. Now this piece of plywood goes all the way to the top. Hard plywood, this piece of siding goes all the way to the top because the floor is going to end here. And on the inside, this is going to be where the chickens roost. So if I come around this side, nice big vent door for their roost. Let's take a look down from above here. So yeah, they'll have a nice place to roost up here. I'll give them a couple more bars to hang out on. And yeah, I think it's going to work out pretty good. So, back to more siding. More interesting cuts. It's notched around the nesting box, and now I have to figure out the angle up there. And rather than try and measure that, I am going to trace it. But the siding's coming along great. Got some more on the inside. I'll show you guys in a second. Right, and here's the inside wall. Because I'm doing board and batten, that gap doesn't matter too much. That's a rough edge where I had a little bit of the edge of a piece of bark on the side of those logs. So the batten will cover that right up though, so I don't have to worry about it. It's Friday night. This is where I'm calling it quits for now. I got this gable almost done except for the last 2 pieces on the end, and I'm waiting for a little scrap here. We'll take a look inside here. You can see I got most of the bottom half of the wall done. I got the whole upper half of the wall done. And let's take a little step up even higher and take a look down there. Alright. Not perfectly straight. I got a little hitch in my get-along there, but you know what? Who cares? It's a chicken coop. I framed it all by myself. Over here on this end, I have the last cleat to catch the bit of flooring that I've so far stopped over there at the 8-foot mark. So get another 4-foot piece of flooring in over here for some storage up above. Alright, well as you can see, this gable wall is basically done except for that little gap there and the space below the nesting boxes. But that's enough that I can now, figure out how big my roof trim is going to be and so forth, and I can start putting plywood up. And really, guys, here's some of the plywood I'm going to be using. It's a 1/2 inch, about the cheapest plywood I could get. This is really the only place I'm cheating, and the materials aren't really coming from the yard. But I figured that's a good enough compromise, huh? Alright, let me get cutting over here. Look at that. And I chose the spot of where to put this sheet of plywood because the top plate is broken right here at this connection. So I straddled that connection with a full sheet of plywood to stiffen up this frame as much as possible. I'm a very big proponent of staggering your joints as much as humanly possible without wasting a bunch of materials. I got the sheathing on this one side already. Not on the top bit yet, but I'm going to do my 2 long sides and then my 2 short little pieces up top. Folks, so one half of the roof just about sheathed up here at the top. And again, this whole face down on this side is already all done. So, nearly halfway done with the sheathing now. Plywood there. We got all the plywood up here except for one little scrap at the very end. All the way down. Alright, here we are from down the hill. See, I still have to put all my siding on this end, but we are at least closed in and getting closer and closer to being able to have chickens in here. It's been raining the last few days, but it's not looking too bad this afternoon, so I've come back out and put these bottom rails on to catch the bottom of the fence on this side. And then I've put in 2 2x3 door threshold there. And the tops of these are all about equal. They're following the grade a little bit. It does step down from there as we move it down this way to follow the grade a little bit. So now I got to continue around the other sides and finish that up. for fun, I tried out my first set of doors here, and I put some catches on them, so we can just lock those shut. This will have screen inside of it. This will be a nice ventilation door for the birds. Visitor, Mr. Toad. Hey, Mr. Toad. How are you today? Bottom rail is on. I've been digging out the dirt, cutting a whole bunch of roots. Probably can't tell down here, but there's a bunch of big roots I had to cut off so I can get the grade down a little bit lower than the surrounding area so that the wire can get extended under the dirt to keep the diggers out. Mice and raccoons and goodies. Getting ready to put in the north side fencing. I gotta get these stumps out of the way so that I can put the bottom rail in. One down. And one to go. These things are a pain in the butt to get out of here, let me tell you. Garter snake, see him in there? Cute little fella. Hey, buddy. Hi. I found this nice big boy in there, a little bit bigger than a shoebox and under the tree. So I'm going to continue wrestling this thing out of here. So after I got this guy out of the ground, I figured, you know, that little stump will pull right out now, right? Because this is probably holding most of it in. Nah. Thing still fought me tooth and nail, but there it is, it's finally out. So a little more cleanup, and I'll be getting ready to put the bottom rails in on this side too. Woo! For all my digging, bent this stuff out 90 degrees. Now I'm going to cover it up with dirt, so that should keep most of the digging pests out. Second side's all buried in, so it's looking nice from the inside. I'm holding off and leaving this big end open so it's easy to get in and out while I'm working on it, but it's time to close it in. Something else that desperately needed to get done. I'm going to start getting rid of some scrap. So, burning up all my little bits that are too small to be useful. Alright, the end is done. That really stiffened that up. It had a little jiggle to it because of course it's a big, huge heavy weight on tall stilts. So putting those diagonals in at the bottom really fixed that up. So now it's time to put some screen on. Well, I think that should do it. I'll probably put a couple of pieces of wire through it, but maybe not. I don't even think I need to. After this is all covered with dirt, I don't think anything's really getting in there to speak of. Alright, let's do the last corner and start burying all this stuff up. Well, I have a bit more tidying up to do in here, just kind of leveling things out. But you can see how I got a nice rail now to set up for a deep litter. About 6 inches of litter. So yeah, I just got some humps and bumps to get out of here, and I want to get some of the rocks out. Now it's time for 2 doors. I had to put the threshold in on this side, and the door jamb. And this one just needs a door itself. A little bit more siding in here. And there we go, one last look. We've got the plywood on, all the screen is on this end. Dirt's all filled back in. So I have to do a little bit of wire right around the bottom of the coop, a couple of doors. And then this little bit of siding up here, and a few pieces of siding here and there. Okay everyone, that's it for today. Thanks for joining me. I've got quite a bit done the last 2 weekends, and just some little touch-ups to do, and a bit of roof, and this baby will be ready to go. So we should definitely be ready for our birds in a couple weeks when they get here. Alright, thanks for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and see you soon.